And we're back. So, got the tank off, got the air box off, throttle bodies, and here's the state that we're in now. Now, when I noticed something as I was taking all this stuff off, I got the connection off the starter, the ground clamp for the battery disconnected, and I started unplugging these terminal plugs, and I noticed this one here is burnt. This is coming from the stator. This one was fine, so it's coming from here, from your stator. And I can't remember exactly. I think it was about a year ago. I was having problems with the charging system, so I replaced the stator and the rectifier. Now this plug back here is just fine, but for whatever reason this one is all burnt up, and it was not like this when I replaced the stator. So yeah, that's unfortunate. And then of course, you know, that leads directly into this main harness. Come on, focus. So that's going to be an issue. And then so here's your ignition coils and the spark plugs. So you got cylinder 1, 2, 3, 4. And I was looking and I noticed, hold on, let me get a light. So there's cylinder 1, cylinder 2, cylinder 3, hold on, sorry, there's all this grit and dirt shavings and whatnot. See how these are relatively clean? And then cylinder 2 has got all these shavings everywhere. I'll be honest, I don't know what that means. Like I said, I'm not an engine builder or an expert, but I mean, I know that's bad, obviously, but I don't know exactly what that means. Cylinder 2 is obviously the one that broke the rod, the connecting rod. So the connecting rod is broken, and then these valves are dropped. And I honestly don't know what that means. Something with the timing, maybe? I don't know. But anyway, I've got, let's see, I've got a few more things to unplug, and then I think that's it. The engine will be ready to drop once I get everything disconnected, the electrical. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna have to, so I'm gonna remove the slave cylinder for the clutch, the front sprocket cover, and then I'll have to loosen the axle on the back tire and slide that forward so I can get the chain off, so I can roll the chain off the front sprocket, and then that should be it. After that, I will be able to finally drop the engine, which really it hasn't been that much work. It's been pretty easy. Here's all your cables for your throttle and your cold start. I also noticed this pile of shavings as I was working on the bike. This pile of shavings started to accumulate, and it's coming out of this tube here. So I'm guessing this is the pickup tube, and then maybe this is the return. I don't know. I haven't looked at it in the manual. But yeah, these shavings are just dropping out of this. See that? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So, I might just unbolt this and take it off just to see what it looks like. I think it's just one bolt. So yeah, pretty interesting. But those valves, man, that's crazy. I know I probably sound like an idiot to some of y'all, because you're like, oh, I already know what it is, da da da. You know, I'm learning about this as I go, so I'm not Sherlock Holmes over here. I'm more like Inspector Gadget. All right, I was wrong. It was 2 bolts, 1, 2. You can see. That is just full of shavings. Here's the other side. That's the little screen that's in there. It's supposed to filter out, you know, little particulates. So let's see. Wow. Look at that. Man, nothing on this side. Hence the screen, obviously. But yeah, wow. Let's see, pretty much all metal. Whoops. Yep. So yeah, just thought you'd be interested in seeing that. So that's that. All right, quick little edit. So my plan was just to loosen the chain, loosen the axle, move the tire forward so you have enough slack to get this chain off. And I did that, but there's not enough room. This chain would still be in the way when you drop the engine down. So I rolled the chain back on and I put the shifter back on, clicked it down to first so that this sprocket won't turn, and then I already broke this loose, but then I can get some tools on here and actually just take the sprocket off. That way it'll be out of the way and it won't hang up on the chain. I just wanted to add that in there. So I got the front sprocket off, and as you can see, there's not enough room here to pull the chain over this shaft here. But I think I've got enough slack that even if it does kind of hang up on the shaft here a little bit as I'm dropping the engine, it should be all right. There's the front sprocket. I also pulled, so I looked in the manual. The manual refers to this as the oil strainer. And I'm pretty sure, this is the pickup tube, right? This is where the oil gets sucked up to go into the engine. Anyway, it's referred to as the oil strainer. I went ahead and pulled these pipes out that were originally hanging. This is the breather. The manual calls it the breather. And then this is the pressure regulator. So I'm wondering, I'm gonna set this aside and kind of inspect this. I wonder if it has something to do with this. Maybe the pressure regulator failed somehow and the engine wasn't getting oiled like it should. I don't know. But anyway. Oh, and then here's that burnt out connector. So who knows how long that's been like that. There's the other end. You can see exposed wires down there. Now, that's pretty dangerous because this is right underneath the gas tank. If you were to have a gas leak or something and this was sparking, you can imagine what that could could have caused. So we're lucky there. I pretty much got everything else disconnected, and I think I'm ready to drop the engine. So I was gonna put the oil pan back on, but it has a strange shape to it. It's not flat, and you can see the bottom of the engine is pretty flat. So I think I'm gonna build maybe like a little platform out of some wood or something that I could put under there, and then use I've got a scissor jack that I think I'm gonna use. I got this scissor jack right here I'm probably gonna use. Get this up under there. You know, my gut's telling me that this needs to be done with the floor jack, but I don't have one. So, like I said, I'm gonna build like a little platform out of wood, maybe with the pocket that this piece here can sit in. And I got the back of the bike is jacked up on the stand. I'll probably put the front stand on here, which there's the front stand, so I can lift up the front of the bike, and maybe that'll level it a little better. And get the bottom of the engine a little more level. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try that. So I'm doing this by myself. I don't know how well this is gonna turn out, but you know, only one way to find out, right? There we go. So I got the front stand on there. I got the front of the bike lifted up. So now the front and the rear are off the ground. And as you can see, the bottom, it's a little more level. It's still got a little slant to it, but it's better than it was. And I got plenty of room to get the engine out. So like I said, I'll make a little wood platform for the bottom, and then I'm thinking I might maybe I'll use a ratchet strap or something to kind of hold the front of the engine to the frame to keep it from, you know, falling forward as I'm lowering it. There's no way really there's no way really to wrap a strap around the engine, but I should be able to get a ratchet strap hooked up to the front, just to kind of keep it secured and keep it from falling forward. So let me see what I can come up with. Okay, so here's the wood, a little simple wood jig I made. So these lips right here should bite into this wood, and then these blocks will keep it from tipping side to side. Fits on there pretty snug. So yeah, I'll get this block. I guess I need to knock that tip off, but get this block centered up, get a ratchet strap on there somehow. Then I will raise the jack up, put a little pressure on the bottom of the engine, and then I can start loosening these bolts. There's one here. There's another one. There's another one down here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 bolts. And then on this other side, it's the same thing. Except on this side, they've got these nuts on there that take a special socket, which I don't have. So hopefully I can use a punch and a hammer to loosen those. This one's in there pretty deep. I don't know. I should have a long enough punch to get up in there. I don't know. We'll see. So yeah, I'll get the jack in place, put a little pressure, like I said, and then start getting these bolts loosened up. So there we go. Got the scissor jack in place. Got a little pressure on the bottom. There's the tie strap. Got it hooked to the bottom. And then wrapped around that little neck piece. And then I got the slack, wrapped around twice. So as I take the pressure off of this, I should have a little extra strength to kind of hold it in place and ease it down. And I'll just take my time and do it little by little. You know, that ratchet strap should help me do that. But I already took one bolt out. So I got this bolt out of there. I'm gonna take this one out next. So that'll be the back two. Then I'll take, I guess I'll take this one out next, and then this will be the last one. All right, so let me update you on what I'm doing. So we got the scissor jack, got the ratchet strap on the front. So there's 4 bolts. There's 1, 2, 3, and then 4 right here. Now there's 1 bolt on this side and another on the other. I got them loosened. I just broke them loose. So basically the whole engine is pivoting like that way on these bolts, on this bolt and the bolt on the other side. So I'm gonna raise this because right now this bolt is the only thing that's holding the bottom of the engine, or the back of the engine is the only thing that's holding it. So I'm gonna raise the scissor jack because I can't pull this bolt out right now because the engine is putting pressure on it. So I'm gonna raise it up a little bit at a time. There we go. So now the bolt's free. So now I know there's no pressure on this bolt. So I got the engine up far enough. I don't need to go up anymore. If I jack it up any further, the bolt is going to be jammed up and it'll be hard to pull out. If I go down any further, it'll be jammed up and it'll be hard to pull out. So right now I got it at the perfect spot. It's loose. And there we go. So the only thing that's holding the engine in right now is the scissor jack and these two bolts. This one and then the one on the other side. Ugh. So I'm going to slowly lower the scissor jack and then the ratchet strap. I'm just going to slowly lower the front and then the back, front, back, just little by little. I'm going to take my time and we should be all right. This is a big engine, man. This thing is heavy. It's a 1.3 liter inline four. And it's not light, man. I don't know how much it weighs, but I know it's heavy. So I'm just gonna take my time. Like I said, little by little, front, back, lower it down until I get it all the way down. I also wanted to show you. So these special fasteners here. So you've got an inner one. You've got an outer nut and then an inner nut. And these are basically spacers. You can see right there. And what I did was to get those off, to get the outer nut off, I basically just used a punch and a hammer. And then to back that inner spacer out, I used a chisel because I don't have the right tools, so I'm working with what I got. I used a chisel, stuck it in there like that, and then I put this crescent wrench on the chisel. So basically like that. And then I turned the chisel, and that was enough to loosen those spacer bolts. I did that on both of these, just to let you know. I didn't have the right tools, and I'm just working with what I got, but it didn't damage them at all. They're just fine. And there we go. Engine is out. My little system worked out pretty well. Of course, it wasn't perfect. You gotta kind of finagle things here and there, but the engine is out. It didn't fall. And I'm actually glad I didn't have the oil pan on there, because that would have caused major issues. The fact that the oil pan is off and the bottom of the engine is flat helped a lot. So I think I'll be able to lift the engine and put it on this dolly, which is going to do me a lot of good on this dirt, but you know, it's what I got. So I'll move the engine to the dolly, push that over there, get that out of the way, and that'll be it. Once I got it to a certain point, I was actually able to move this chain and get this chain around the around that shaft and get that out of the way. So the chain didn't cause as much of an issue as I thought it would. So yeah, went really well. Not too bad. I'm happy with that. So we got the engine out. Very happy. And this is what's left of my beautiful mothership Hayabusa. But hopefully soon she'll get a new engine, or a new used engine, and we'll get her roadworthy again and get her back out there. Alright, so finished with the engine. There it is over there. I got the tank on top of this tote that has all the parts in it: the radiator, the oil cooler, the oil pan, all the random parts. Little container with all the bolts. And now we're just left with a rolling chassis. So I'll put the side stand back on, and while I got the engine out, I'll be able to kind of clean everything, clean this frame up, clean all this, inspect everything, inspect all the electrical connections. I'll remove the swing arm, check the bearings. I'm sure they'll probably be fine. Probably just clean those and re-grease them. And I'll do the headstock bearings, check those, clean, re-grease. And just generally clean everything up. And then obviously that burnt connector, this right here, we'll have to address. Yeah, just generally, take the shock out, look at that, just clean everything up basically, since we got the engine out. The paint, the factory paint, is still pretty good. I think it just needs to be cleaned up a little bit. So I'm not going to worry too much about the paint. I'm not going to spray paint this stuff or anything. But I think that's about it for this video. Appreciate you guys watching. And I really want to get that valve cover off. and start tearing inside this engine and kind of looking and seeing what's going on. Maybe we can figure it out. I don't know. I might have to build a special little table stand for it or something. But other than that, we are done. DUN done. So, alright. See you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Later.